I hope your favorite character is Maui because he's barely in this movie. See us at MomoCon 2025. Info in the link here.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
Moana 2 is a return to the golden age of Disney straight-to-video sequels, just the most blatant cash grab. For those who don't remember, in 2020 they announced a Moana Disney Plus series. Though I guess for how popular it is and for how many box office bombs they had, Disney got desperate for a hit. So in early 2024, CEO Bob Iger announced this episodic show was retooled into a movie, and it really shows. This was late into production, so God help those animators splicing together multiple episodes into one narrative. A movie so half-assed, I will commit Sudoku if it's culturally relevant enough for a cartoon character sings Disney songs video. Frozen was full of those.
Let it go! Let it go! Been away this thunderstorm! Like, I don't care!
So what's so bad about Moana 2, and why does it chug more water than a Guantanamo Bay prisoner? Let's find out. Juice and jam time.
You never saw me like this? Even though I still look very cool.
You look like a kidney stone.
And you look like someone who would know what that is.
So the plot of the first film was Moana having to team up with a demigod, Maui. Together, they gotta retrieve his magical fish hook that restores his animal transformation powers. Only then can they stop a vengeful god from killing off all the plants and animals on the island of Matanui, land of the free and home of the Bionicle. It's a straightforward, focused buddy adventure. For part 2, Maui has been captured, so Moana has to basically stop another god on a boat trip. This time joining her are 3 other random villagers on top of her 2 wacky animal sidekicks. I appreciate them having a new character dynamic, but this dynamic is terrible. There's too many in the cast while no one really has enough screen time or contributes anything. If this was a TV show prior, how much did they cut out? You have this old guy who's the farmer on board, and he's afraid of swimming. By the end of the film, he does not learn how to swim, they just give him some coconut floaties so he won't drown. There's this one girl who was perky, and I was liking her until she barely did anything herself. And the one guy I was actually enjoying was this Maui fanboy who draws fan art and worships him. Unfortunately relatable. Funny character, but really did nothing. No real development or learning to work together as a team. Why were they here? Is any kid gonna buy a toy of them? Maybe they could have rolled all their traits into one villager so it's more focused. At times like this, I'd rather they be singing songs, specifically ones from Frozen.
Don't let salmon, don't let them see. Be a good duck, you always have to be. Concealed, don't feel.
But it's okay. Dwayne Johnson's character Maui gets rescued and finally joins the crew in like the last 30 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Once reunited, there is so much more life to the film. The Rock still got it, but too little too late. Most of it was a slog, and this is supposed to be an adventure film, but there's hardly any adventure. No spoilers, but you see this poster? That island and storm is all the adventuring they do. By this late into the film, Moana says something like, "Alright team, this will be our greatest challenge yet," and it's like, already? All they did on this trip was meet another ship and enter a cave, and now they're on to the final challenge? Look at the first movie, they did so much. Moana got into the island with Maui, fought all these coconut villagers, met Schaeferillis, faced God, got defeated, learned about herself, fought God again. How do these 2 movies have the same runtime, yet less happened in the sequel? Now, I haven't seen Moana since it came out in theaters in 2016, but those songs get in your head. Shiny, I Am Moana, You're Welcome, classics. As for the sequel, songwriter Lin-Manuel Miranda did not return. He was busy shitting in KFC buckets like my uncle last week. Metaphorically speaking, of course. For M2, Moana United, I think maybe 1 or 2 songs I liked. Forgot what they were called, we'll see if they have any staying power. Will they be played endlessly everywhere like Frozen was?
I'm free. Let it go. Let it go. I'm the one. I'm both gonna let it go. Stop.
But visually, wow, does this film really feel like it's for TV? There's just no flair to complement the music, it all feels empty. We have a sort of villain song that takes place in a dingy cave. The music feels like you should have a bunch of moving objects or creatures dancing along, but there's hardly anything. So much empty space.
Sailing from the horizon back to our home.
know who else is enjoying this song?
My mom! Whoa! Whoa!
To do a barrel roll while on the ramp, quickly move the control stick left and right.
Now look man, I play Wave Race 64. I made a whole vid on water racing games. Great video, I watch my own vids. I'm a genius. Why won't that girl message me first? I love me my damn 3D water effects, so I know for sure Moana 2 was a visual downgrade. The film was not animated by Walt Disney's main studio in California. Instead, it was outsourced to their Vancouver division, a newer and smaller studio making D+ content. Watching the sequel had me second guessing, was the village always this small looking? Was the island not really all that colorful? So I rewatched part 1 again as I write this, and let me tell you, that felt massive, lush, tropical, so much color, plus a wider cinematic aspect ratio. That was made for theaters. This, not so much. And the quote, villains? Well, they're barely considered villains in this. Halfway through the runtime, they introduce some bat-themed antagonists with a very boring design. She hates humans, but feels Moana can help her. I forget why, but she needs her to help escape the cave, and she's gone. I remember before release, people were speculating what this chick will do. Really? Nothing. Yeah, sure, the shiny crab in the first was in and out quickly, but he's what I call interesting. This chick, she turns into a bat.
You're not even trying anymore, are you?
Hidden in a terrible storm, it's an ancient island. Setting foot on its sands would break the curse, bring our people together again.
Well, make way for the real villain, Nalo, a god who also hates humans. Now, I'm about to spoil some stuff, so if you want to avoid that, skip to this part. You see, the goal for Moana is to reach an island sunken at the bottom of the ocean. Somehow, touching it will raise the island and reunite the other nations together. The evil god Nalo has got to keep them separated as he takes the form of a storm cloud of tornadoes and thunder. Much like Galactus in Rise of the Silver Surfer, we never see his true form, an evil freaking cloud. What this mysterious force looks like is up to our imaginations. Until the after credits where he's just there, on a throne, like Thanos. Like, I had to Google to make sure, yeah, they just showed the villain's true form in the after credits for some reason. Like, no build-up, no anticipation, he's just there he is. We decided to reveal it now, okay. This stinger at the end hints at a sequel with villains working together. You have the bat chick I mentioned before, and the shiny crab, and that's all. It ain't exactly the Legion of Doom. Seriously? Only 3 villains? If they had 22, they could sing Let It Go.
Here I'll stand, and here I'll stay. Let the storm rage on.
Like, how freaking desperate you're trying to make a Thanos? Buddy, no. Are you kidding me? No one wants to fight these guys in Kingdom Hearts. Okay, maybe the crab, but that's it. This doesn't feel like a big universe to justify this villain group. These are isolated one-and-done movies. This evil group wants humans to be separated to their own islands, some anti-spiral race stuff. Honestly, maybe the 3rd movie will be good since it'll start development as an actual movie and not a streaming show stitched together. Maybe they can actually do something with these villains to warrant a Legion of Doom, like, you know, giving them screen time, giving them stuff to do, just spitballing ideas here.
This is a call from the ancestors to sail to new skies.
Oh, but I gotta complain about the conclusion some more. So as the group tries to reach the island, Dwayne Johnson gets zapped by an evil thunder god cloud. This has Maui's tattoos vanish, including the sentient tattoo boy on his body. Remember that thing? It's alive and it vanishes. So what does this entail? Is Maui for the first time mortal? Is his little friend gone? Does he think about how he has a lifespan now? This feels like the 2nd act, like we're gonna dwell on him losing as we face the villain again later. Well, nah, he gets his tats back like 2 minutes later after he saves Moana. What having his tattoos disappear meant had no effect on really anything. There were no consequences, there was nothing to learn. In the first movie, they faced a god, lost, had time to dwell on it, and then they got back into it. In Mo 2, they cut out the middleman and rushed the ending. Something that seems like a big deal is just brushed aside like most of the plot points in Mandalorian Season 3. But don't worry, after reaching the island, whatever happened was undone. The island rises, creates a trail, now islands from across the ocean are reunited, new villagers from different nations. Cool, and yet again this movie feels so small. Like, we could have been exploring other societies, instead we just meet the coconut people again, and then nothing. The after credits want to be a big, massive Avengers oceanic level threat, yet this world feels so surface level. Again, you see everything in this poster here, I'm so freaking mad, I'm not gonna let this go.
Let it go! I say, boy, let it go! Can't hold it back anymore, boy! Let it go!
Molly?
Boat snack! Bacon and eggs?
I can't believe you're here!
So, one of the craziest things I heard was the original voices of the duo recorded their lines in the beginning of 2024. Usually voices are recorded early while artists animate after, years before release. This implies other voice actors recorded for the TV series, but since it's going to theaters, they worked in the original stars. My God, did they have to reanimate the lip sync and alter their body mannerisms to match? I remember when Shrek 1 was recorded, Mike Myers tried a Scottish accent so late into production, the crew were like, nah, we don't need it though. Co-producer Steven Spielberg loved it.
I'm no one's messenger boy, okay? I'm a delivery boy.
I'm no one's messenger boy, all right? I'm a delivery boy.
It was rumored to have costed them about $4 to $5 million of work to reanimate mouths and likely alter the body language to match. But Myers admitted it was far less cash than that, and he did the redub for free. I wonder how M2 went down. I found several tweets saying that Moana's voice finished recording in June. Some say September, less than 5 months before the film's release, but I can't find a source on that. It's a mess regardless. What's even more depressing is there's already set photos for the live-action remake.
We are so excited and happy to announce that a live-action reimagining of Moana is in the works.
Mo 2 and the live-action Moana is executive produced by Dwayne Johnson. He's given them money to do this. Really feels like both him and Disney had so many movies bomb, so they both needed a guaranteed hit. The original Moana is not even 10 years old and you're remaking it? Like, have a bit of shame. Every day I think about what Matt Damon said about how streaming services made it so movies are even less creative now. I've explained it before, so here it is. Anyway, what y'all think of Moana 2? My theater was really full, so I'm expecting this movie to make a ton of money. Hopefully that'll lead to a third film that actually feels like a film. It blatantly feels like a setup to a more interesting story.
Is Daddy Maui?
No!
You guys want ice cream?
Yeah!